is like that. It's like this now. Because there's a slight issue. It just set the time. No previous time would change to IR mode or something like that. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I'm tired as hell. Is it ethical of me to set the time to 11:59 right here? I'll do it. If it gets rejected, it gets rejected. I don't want all my time wasted. Okay. And then... yeah. Set that to 2, set the turn the rectangle and make that 50. Content warnings on, reduce motion on. I think that's okay. Yeah. Okay, now we begin. We begin pain.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered...
Please.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault. Yeah, all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Well, I just saw it at
this sounds
121
delightful.
frames.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Which way do I go? I guess that's sick.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh,
Okay.
Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else. For goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time
Gotta
together
eat
like
pie.
always. What do you say, friend?
Try not to die whilst eating pie.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something! Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk. with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
So silly indeed, Percy.
Honestly,
Thanks
I
for
could
the
not be bothered to play
GLs.
this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Wait, Percy, what are
I'm
you
trying to make a serious work of
Okay.
art. I suppose I could write up a handful of
What are you
gags to
what are you
insert into
doing,
the
Percy?
Stanley
Isn't it like
Parable,
4
but the game is
a.m.?
already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the
Hello.
game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well,
This
I always
narrator
thought it
talks
did,
so
but
much, you
maybe
have
it
no
wasn't.
idea.
Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise
was-
unimpeachable track record.
I'll like lower it in the
I
menu.
feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps. What's this one got to say?
Okay. You narrator going
This is
right
the story of
down.
This is
Maybe like this.
say.
Okay. Percy, isn't it like 4 a.m. for you? That's what I said.
Can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button. Well, yes.
Also,
Maybe
hello,
I can do that. If
gold.
I'm truly too preachy, then maybe
Like
letting
gold
it skip
split.
ahead
You get it?
Not
You went
if
to bed at 8
means
o'clock,
strike
but 2
these
p.m.
negative
Alright.
reviews on the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley. That's my motto, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything.
This is really funny now, because like
Yes,
now like
a
everything's
skip
like...
button we shall have.
Actually, I should really like lower the sound of everything, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe like 65.
And here it is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes.
If you're wondering
but
why
it was
I have like a
plenty of
mouse
time for
cam and
me
not
to
like a
deliver
keyboard
long,
cam or anything,
rambling monologue full-
because I'm using one-handed mode.
Well,
So, like,
yes,
right
boy,
click is to
you really
move.
did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I started
This
to go
is a
off on a
speedrun.
faultless display of self-absorption. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now,
This
I
is the
should say that
greatest
the
ending
amount
of all
time the button
time.
has been skipping through
Maybe.
is becoming longer and longer.
In
That
this speedrun,
last
it's
one
really
was,
annoying.
well, I want to say maybe 30, 45.
This is my second
Stanley,
full win of this
Stanley,
game, by the way.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't
Now
know
that
why
like,
the skips are getting
now I
longer,
like
but they're-
at least like
Oh,
half know what I'm doing.
You're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk
Because
to
in like the
again.
first one, I
Stanley,
literally
I-
spent like a minute and a half looking for the end,
2 weeks.
like for the exit and like the Stanley Parable 2 bit.
Oh,
And yeah, this
hello,
game mostly is
it's
just
you. You're here
cutscenes.
again. Well,
The reason I picked this
I
game
have
is
had time
is
to
because it
think
does
about
has a
you
it has a
and
one-handed mode, and what's it? Because like I like movement, I guess, and this game has also movement stuff. The one thing I don't like about this game though, is that what's it? Like the doors in this game. Like you see me like oh god. You see
But
me
they
like
didn't understand the game
oh
was
god.
never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point.
I'll
It was
finish
meant to
it.
speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes?
finish,
Where are the jokes?
like-
They bemoan, they scream,
Yeah.
they gnash.
Okay. What's it? You saw me like walking around the door instead of just like pushing up against it like I'm doing the skip button. That's because with like some doors in this game, if you like push up against doors, then it just like it'll open but it won't open fully, which is really annoying. So you kind of just have to like wait until like the door like half opens and just like rush in. Which I guess isn't too bad, but it's like kind of annoying because I've spent like all of this time like just like conditioning myself to like hook up against the door, and now like well that's ruined because of this game. Oh yeah, everything just breaks apart. I think the skip button like I guess like 25 times longer like every single time you press it. So like the first time you press it it'll be like 4 seconds, and like the next time will be a minute, and then 45 minutes, and then like 12 hours, and then a week, and then a year or something. You can probably calculate the amount of time that this sequence goes on for. Oh, I forgot that, yeah. Oh god. Goldsuit, you should speedrun this game. You'd love this game. It's just like there's like 20 minutes of waiting. You love waiting, don't you? I'm sure everyone loves waiting around for no reason. Well, it's not for no reason, but in a speedrun, I guess it's for no reason because you already know what's coming up next. See? How did I know? It's about a 2-hour cutscene. Special activity, exactly. It's incredible. If you're wondering, by the way, the world record for this game is 38 minutes and 7 seconds.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
How am I not affiliate? I don't remember, but if I had to guess, it's what's it? It's either like my lack of viewers, or
You
the
see,
fact that I
Stanley,
just haven't
I've
signed
been
up for
reflecting
affiliate
on the
yet.
Stanley parable, and
I can
about
check
how
after this
roundly
one if I
disappointing
remember.
this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
One of
the
those
original
two.
Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it.
It's probably
one
like
step
the
even
fact that I have
further.
very little
Which
viewers.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever
Which way do
the
I go?
Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. Isn't this like the greatest
you
speedrun
see,
you've
isn't
ever
this far
watched?
superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions. Think of all the new territory we'll
Seem to
cover
average at
with
least
a
3.
fully
Oh,
fledged
that's
sequel. An
lovely.
entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities. It
I
could
don't
go
know,
in
I can
so
check.
many different directions.
I can check after
This
this one.
is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing.
Hopefully I
for
can
it.
like
I figure that if I can loosely
remember
organize
where
a
to
handful of
go.
interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
because like last time I just completely forgot where to go and I just spent like a minute and a half trying to find like the next place to go. So now I know. But thanks to like the last one I did,
Now
I
it's
know
a
where to
real
go.
video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on. God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game.
Oh,
And then
damn.
they give you a big... Calling it the
I
Stanley
don't remember what
Parable
my
2
first speedrun
is
was.
just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really
You don't need the
hate
bucket.
to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now. No? You're just going to ignore my advice? Fine. No fun new content for you then. So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single
Okay, my
coherent
beloved.
video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Yeah,
There's
it's incredible.
definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay.
You
Are
hate
you ready?
bucket?
Here it is. I give you the
Oh,
Stanley
wow.
Parable 2.
I got completely destroyed there. You really got me there.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
What if I
Hold
like...
on. Let me do a
Imagine if we
different
could like
arrangement.
clip back down and then just get that
Yes,
figurine.
Yes,
or
this is
whatever it
much
was.
better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of
Oh yeah, by the
course,
way,
with respect.
after
With
this
care for the
long
vision
like
and
thing
integrity
is
of the
done with the
original
Stanley
game.
Parable 2,
Would it
like when I
possibly
get
work?
kicked into the main
I
menu
suppose it
again,
could,
I have to
but it
like
would need a
restart the game
really
like, a couple times.
tremendous title screen.
I'll
A
just say that
title
right now,
screen that
just in
says with
case like, you see like a
bold
black
and
screen for a bit and
uncompromising
you go like crazy.
conviction, This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect.
Cause
Go ahead.
yeah,
Take a look.
you'll see why. Okay, yeah, so you see that timer stops, so I have to like quit to desktop. And then gotta go for a bit, you're hungry, alright. Enjoy food maybe, try not to die. Message you have to stream. Okay then. I keep getting this like dialogue here. Like what the hell? I have never once gotten this dialogue in casual play, but I'm getting it in speedruns. Now I restart the game again. Is that different times to avoid it, I believe? Yeah. But I think in this period you have to set it to like all these times. Like set to the same time every time. I don't know though. I haven't watched too much of this period. I just set it to the same time every time. Or at least like the correct time every time. But I don't know. Bye bye. Try not to die whilst eating your food, if you're getting food. It's likely that you're getting food, but yeah. You could not be getting food, you could be getting like water or something. What? I don't know, you could die whilst eating your food, I don't know. I'm saying like try not to die, so it's like just in case, you know. Oh, I forgot. And I think I don't restart the game again. I think I go get the collectibles. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of just like going with the flow, if that makes sense.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He entered the door on his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these
The
things.
traveling salesman
Mini
problem.
stands. Stanley figs.
Exactly, yeah.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Hello, Delay. Hope you're doing well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened door. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Incredible.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You were headed to bed and saw you alive.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Hello.
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by
Yeah,
the
you should
employee
probably
lounge
like
first,
head to bed
just to
if it's
admire it.
getting late.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back
This
to business,
legend
Stanley
right
took the
here.
first open door on his left.
I don't think like this legend right here like
Stanley
do
was so
very
bad
well
at
like
following
if they didn't get the
directions,
amount of
it's
sleep
incredible
they
he wasn't
needed.
fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Bye bye.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize
If
that
you do want to
investing
keep
your
watching,
trust
then
in someone
you
else
can,
be
but
difficult. But the
I
fact
don't think
is
it'll
that
be
the
kind of
story has
like
been
Mr.
about
Miss Allen
nothing
sleep
but
because of
you
me.
all this time. This what? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration
yeah,
for
that's
others?
fair.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't
EPB
know how to
wrong.
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
It's okay, it's okay. You don't have to watch the stream. Good luck trying to like get to sleep. When you're EP, so you should
Stanley, I'm sorry,
be
but I have to put a
EPing
pause on things.
right
It's
away, I
just-
guess, but
It's those figurines.
you know,
Those
just in
figures.
case.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
You couldn't decide
I
on
would love
anything.
nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
That's
Just one more
understandable, I
time.
guess. I just like eat whatever my mother makes. I don't really like make an effort to like, eat much. That's probably like a
Here's
really
where it
bad
all
thing of me
began.
to say.
The first
but
collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never
she's
be
like
like
the
that
only
again,
reason that I'm
Stanley.
like eating.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
No, it's like what's it? See,
Okay,
just like
let's do a
it
little
makes me
quiz.
food and I just eat
Which
it.
of
That's
these
basically
rooms
what it
was
is.
the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember? Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy. Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes,
You're gonna
that's
what?
all of
Apples,
them. They're
bananas,
all
grapefruits, dragon
collected.
fruits,
It was a
cherries.
moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do
Yeah,
but
eat
move
those
onward
things.
into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Okay, incredible.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling this story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Ba 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 ba. Boom, 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 Um, um, um. Okay. This is like, I think this is like a 41 or something, which is not too great, but you know, it's fine. How do you have 3 minutes? How do you save? I don't know, dude. This is so stupid. I didn't really watch like the whole speedrun, but like I just watched like the start just so I could, just so I like knew how to like open the like new content door really fast. Hello, Cap Ninja. Oh, hey, taking the cleanest time to you doing a speedrun. Stanley, why are you running around the office? Somehow have a world record in this game, that's huge. I speedrun the demo quite a bit. B for boost. Exactly. Yeah, the world record's already done, and second place is already done. Yeah. So what's my time gonna be here? Like a 40 or 41 or something? When I get to the computer, it's gonna be like about a minute like, it's gonna be like a minute and then it runs over. That's like roughly. Yeah. I got the world record in, oh god. I like looked at the screen, yeah. I got like the world record for the demo. It was like pretty silly because I found like movement tech in the demo. You should. I can give like a sub 12. Do you if you just like know like how the movement works, you can get a sub 12. Because like what's it? Like I saw like no whatever. I'll share it after the sun's done because like, it's kind of difficult for me to explain. It's kind of like reformed movement. Your very old demo PB is a 12 or 6. Oh damn. Yeah, there's like a 41. Like 30 or 41, I think. I think, anyways. Maybe it is a 40. Second minute of time, so I didn't really try that much. That's fair. Yeah, 4102. Okay. Okay. Nice.